problem number 3. Anne starts counting the letters of the alphabet beginning with A, and when she gets to Z, she goes backwards from Y all the way back to A, and then reverses again from B to Z. If she continues this process, what is the 2005th letter that she will count? Alright, well, this picture kind of gives you an idea of what happens, what's going on when she gets to the end of the alphabet. She counts Z as 26, and then she goes backwards, so Y is 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay? So let me write this out a little more explicitly for you. Okay, so she starts with A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, I'm just going to all the way to, let's say, X, Y, Z. Okay, so we know this is 26. This is 25, 24, and we know that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so she's counting along, but then when she gets to Z, then she goes to Y next. So I'm just actually she's sort of looping around and around. So I'm gonna write this out a little differently. So she goes to Y, and that's 27. X, that's 28. W is 29, and so on. And then she gets to, she's going backwards here, so she gets to B, and then she goes back to A, right? And then she counts B again, C, D, E, F. So she keeps repeating this pattern. All right. So what I've done is, she goes forwards through the alphabet, and then she loops around and goes backwards, and then she goes forwards again. So what I've done here is straightened out the forwards and backwards part, and I've got one list that's going forwards, and then I want to go forwards again. Okay? You'll see where I'm going here in a minute. Alright, so what number will B be when she gets to it a second time? Well, we know that from this Z to B, there should be 25 letters, right? Because it's just 26 minus 1, because we're not counting the A. Because when we get to A, we can go back here to A. That way we just count it once, right? Or once on each loop. Alright, so we count the Z once and the A once, and all the other letters get counted twice. Alright, so what number will she be on when she gets to B? Alright, so we know that she's at 26 when she's at Z. We know there has to be 25 letters. So this has to be the 50th. Okay? You have to be careful here, because it's really tempting to just say 26 plus 25, well, that's 51. But, we have to be careful. We have to make sure that we have 25 letters here, right? Because from B to Z, or Z to B in the backwards direction, there's 25 letters, okay? So if we were to count the number of numbers here, we could subtract 25 to get 1 all the way across, right? 25, subtract 25, and then finally subtract 25, and we do get 25, right? So this would be 1. So if we do all the subtraction, we would count 1 to 25. So in the list from 26 to 50, there are 25 letters. Okay? Got it? So you can check yourself and make sure that you've got the right number of letters, and don't fall into the trap where you just add 25 to 26. All right? Because actually you want to add 25 to 25, then you get 50, because there's 25 letters in this set. All right. So let me erase what I did down here so I can keep going with my counting. All right. So I'm going to put it in columns here. So, okay, she gets to 50. She's at B. She loops back around to A. And so that's going to be 51, 52, 53, and so on. And then when she gets all the way down here to B again, where's she going to be at? Well, she's going to be at 100, right? So you can see, in order to go through this sequence once, it takes you have to count 50, right? And then she loops back around to A, and we'll count another 50, okay? So I've basically, straightened out this sequence. So instead of looping, we're just going sequentially. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this because it's kind of confusing. All right, so now we know in this sequence, this sort of straightened out sequence of letters, there's 100 every time we loop through this whole sequence. So we want to figure out how many times do we go through this sequence if we count to 2050. No, sorry, 2005. So, well, we can just take 50 and divide that into 2005, and you'll see that, well, 4 is 200, and then we have 5 left over, so it's 40 with a remainder of 5. Okay, so what that's telling us is that we go through this sequence of A, B, C, D all the way to X, Y, Z, and then back again to B. We go through that sequence 40 times, and then we go 5 more than that 40 times. So where does that put us? So on the 40th time through this sequence, we're at B, right, at the end. And so then 5 more would be A, B, C, D, E. And so E is our answer. Okay? So we'll go through the sequence of letters 40 times and then 5 more. So we'll end up at E. So E is the answer.